It's Michael. Good morning, everyone. So today we will discussing about the ecdysis, all right, which is greatly involved in the regulation of insect development and metamorphosis. Okay, and we'll be having a small discussion on the differences between the complete and incomplete metamorphosis. Right. So now, this talking about the regulation of insect development, right? So this process occurs in young and still growing arthropods, right? So these arthropods they have larval and nymphal stage, okay, and this regulation, all right, is stimulated by the environment in terms of the food availability, temperature changes, and photo period. Right? It does. These are some of the factors that have impact on these arthropods or insect development. Right? So now you can see from this diagram here, this one example of an insect or arthropods that have the cerebral ganglion, right, with these neurosecretory cells. You can see from here, right, both on the left and right region of their body. Sorry, on of their head. Okay, and then these neurosecretory cells they are connected with this corpus caardiacum and corpus allatum, right? Now at the sides, all right, both sides of this corpus caardiacum and corpus allatum, you can see they are prothoracic glands. Okay, so now a clearer view of this. Okay, this is the brain, all right. Okay, and from the brain you can see there are many neurosecretory cells. Okay, and then these neurosecretory cells are connected with this uh, corpora cardiaca, right? And then this corpora cardiaca, right? Both left and right corpora cardiaca are connected with the corpora allata. All right, corpora allata is plural. When it comes to singular, it will be corpus allatum. Right, the same goes for corpora cardiaca, which is in plural. In singular, it will be corpus cardiacum. So senang saja. Corpora ni dia plural. Corpus dia singular. Right, so up to you class, you want to use corpora or corpus, but remember it depends on your ayat also lah. Okay, now these neurosecretory cells apparently, all right, which is in the brain of the arthropods or the insect, will produce synthesize brain hormone. Okay, and this brain hormone also known as prothoracicotropic hormone, PTTH. Okay, class, mind, please do mind on the spelling. Prothoracicotropic. Okay, not THRO, is TROPIC, tropic hormone. Right, so these neurosecretory cells will produce or synthesize this PTTH, prothoracicotropic hormone, and then this prothoracicotropic hormone will be stored in the corpora cardiaca here, right? This corpora cardiaca or corpus caardiacum, right? Now this PTTH, all right, in turns will stimulate the prothoracic gland. This is the prothoracic gland, which is at the sides, all right, just beside the corpora cardiaca, left and right. You can see from here, right, like I explained earlier. Okay, so this PTTH will stimulate this prothoracic gland, okay, to produce ecdysone. This ecdysone is a molting hormone, right? Now this ecdysone, all right, stimulates ecdysis. Okay, ecdysis in other word is known as molting, right? And this ecdysone, all right, together with the correct concentration or appropriate concentration of juvenile hormone will stimulate metamorphosis, okay, which is the expression of adult characteristics in arthropods, right? So again, let me rephrase. Ecdysone stimulates ecdysis and metamorphosis, right? And then the secretion of this ecdysone is episodic, meaning, okay, is episodic, and with each release, all right, with each release of ecdyson, right, it stimulates molting, right. Can you see the differences here between A and B? Ecdyson secretion is episodic, and then this ecdyson stimulates molting, right. Ecdyson stimulates metamorphosis with uh, the correct concentration of the GH, juvenile hormone. So when it comes to metamorphosis, right, this process depends on the concentration of the ecdyson as well as juvenile hormone, which I'll talk about that later on, right. But ecdyson, the main function of ecdyson is to stimulates molting or ecdysis. Okay, and then the secretion of ecdyson is episodic, with each release stimulates molting. Now, what happens in molting, right? This ecdyson causes the epidermis, all right, of the arthropods to produce digestive enzymes. Sorry, I don't have the diagram here. All right, so this digestive enzyme will digest the lower half of the exoskeleton. You know the exoskeleton of arthropods are hard, right? So when this lower half of the exoskeleton is being digested, what happens? Right, the exoskeleton will become thin and easily crack. So that softened epidermis will produce a new layer of soft exoskeleton that hardens. Right. So this new layer of soft exoskeleton, right, explains why you have some crabs that have a very soft exoskeleton. Okay, as well as the prawns. The exoskeleton is so soft that after being cooked, you can straight away eat them, consume them with their soft exoskeleton, right? But given a appropriate time, right, this soft exoskeleton eventually hardens, right? So again, let me rephrase. This ecdyson causes the epidermis, okay, which is under the exoskeleton, to produce digestive enzymes that will digest the lower half of the hard exoskeleton, right? So this in turn will make the exoskeleton thin and easily crack. Then the epidermis, which produce that digestive enzyme, will produce another new layer of soft exoskeleton that will replace the older or the previous thin and cracked exoskeleton. Okay, all right, now you have this diagram here, right? PTH that stimulates the prothoracic gland to secrete the ecdyson. Now ecdyson also known as ecdysteroids, right? Now juvenile hormone, all right, is secreted by the corpora allata. So we have two corpora allata here, okay, or corpus allatum. So this corpus allatum secretes this juvenile hormone, right, JH, and this juvenile hormone determines the result of the molting, right. So at high concentration of juvenile hormone, right, what happens? Juvenile hormone will suppresses metamorphosis. Okay, suppress ni menghalang, right, menghalang metamorphosis. So bila metamorphosis terhalang di sini, what happens, right? The ecdyson will stimulates molting to produce another larval stage. Alright, so no metamorphosis here. So what happens? The ecdyson will cause the larva to progress into another larval stage by stimulating molting. Now, at low concentrations of juvenile hormone, right, or when juvenile hormone drops below a certain concentration, you can see from this diagram here, the concentration of the juvenile hormone is low or drops below a certain concentration. What happened? All right, metamorphosis will occurs. Metamorphosis will occurs. right, is no longer being suppressed. Remember earlier, high concentration of juvenile hormone suppresses metamorphosis, but at low concentration of juvenile hormone, or when the juvenile hormone concentration drops below a certain concentration, metamorphosis occurs or not being suppressed. Right, so what happens here? Right, in the presence of the ecdyson, okay, the pupa will be formed at the next molting cycle. Sorry, I should have shown here. All right, the pupa will be formed at the next molting cycle. Next, production of juvenile hormone will ceases. Okay, while concentration of ecdyson will increases, causing adult insect to emerges from the pupa. Okay, in case you confused, let me rephrase that. At low concentration of juvenile hormone, right, metamorphosis will occur. So what happens? The larva will progress into pupa. Okay, progress into pupa because the presence of the ecdyson. Right, that, remember earlier I mentioned ecdyson stimulates molting. Okay, when the concentration of juvenile hormone is high, right, metamorphosis is inhibited. You need to say from larva to pupa, it doesn't occur. Okay, from larva to pupa does not occur because high concentration of juvenile hormone. Okay, but ecdyson is still being secreted, so this ecdyson will stimulate molting. So larva, okay, it progress into later larva, from early larva to later larva. But this larva cannot progress into pupa when the concentration of the juvenile hormone is still high. Although there is high concentration of ecdyson, larva cannot progress to pupa when the concentration of the JH is high. Okay, larva tidak boleh bertukar jadi pupa. But when the concentration of the juvenile hormone drops or low, right, together with the secretion of the ecdyson, the larva will progress or form into pupa via metamorphosis. Okay, then the secretion of the JH continue to decrease. Okay, while concentration of the ecdyson continue to increase. So this eventually will cause the adult insect to emerges from the pupa. Okay, so metamorphosis is a series of progressive steps in the development of the young insects until they become adults, controlled by the prothoracic gland and stimulated by ecdyson and juvenile hormone. Okay, now to be more specific here, metamorphosis, all right, stimulated by high concentration of ecdyson and low concentration of juvenile hormone. So there are two types of metamorphosis. All right. So the first type is complete metamorphosis. So complete metamorphosis involves formation of larva and pupa. Okay, and then the development of larva will involve 5 stages. Okay, with periods that known as instar, with 2 ecdysis. So complete metamorphosis, you must have formation of larva and pupa. All right, from the eggs. All right, from the eggs and from pupa, eventually the insect develop into adult. So this will uh, give you complete metamorphosis of an insect or arthropods. Okay, and complete metamorphosis involves 5 stages of instar. Okay, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, from eggs into pupa. All right, there are 5 stages of larva here. All right, and 2 ecdysis. right? The other type of metamorphosis is the incomplete metamorphosis, right? Which involves the formation of nymph only. All right, so from eggs to adult, the eggs only develop into nymph, and then eventually from nymph, the insect or the arthropods become adults. Tiada larva, tiada pupa, right? So development of nymph involves 5 stages, okay, again with period known as instar, with one ecdysis. All right. So the ecdysis from nympha, right? After ecdysis, the nympha become adults, right? And then the nymphal stage has five insta. All right. So now, for your homework, please complete. You try to search online the differences between complete and incomplete metamorphosis. Okay. Thank you. Bye.